Okay, I'd now like to invite up on the stage Stefan Gunnarsson. Stefan is the CEO of PropTexx, based out of the US and France. Okay, and he's going to talk about AI-powered transformation in property search. Thank you, Stefan.
Right, thank you. Hello, everyone. So, quick overview of PropTexx. We are a software company focused on engagement for users when they come on portals, allowing them to interact with real estate photos and real estate listings, and therefore enhancing the engagement, giving data back to the portal, ultimately leading to what we call the Netflix of real estate, meaning empowering listings or the right listings to the right user for what they are looking for. We started our journey 5 years ago. We actually started it in Bangkok, so it feels good to be back here. And 5 years ago until a year ago, we have been building our own AI solutions, our own AI models, our own data sets, so we don't use any generic LLM models or any other visual models. And we launched our first product 1 year ago, a little bit over a year ago. And since then, it has been, as Simon says, a rocket ship ride. We are currently US-based out of New York with an R&D center in France. We're currently turning over a little bit over 20 million photos a month that we are generating for portals, essentially. And now I'm talking millions of photos that are generating for users coming on these portals instantly. We're active in 67 countries through networks. And again, our own proprietary technology. Our main clients are portals like immerse, NAR, National Association of Realtors, Remax, and other brands across Europe and the US. We're actively aiming on Australia as well as a potential market for us, and Southeast Asia, Singapore, here, and around. Now, when we say focusing on engagement, everything we build is meant to drive data, and we think that, or we know that data or the source of truth comes from imagery. So allowing users to come, when they come on the listing, allowing them to engage and spend time visualizing the listing in a different way, or like if they would be sitting or living there, increases that data set. Therefore, the portal can start to understand what are their clients actually looking for, the users actually looking for, and feed back to the user the right property corresponding to what they were searching. A bit like the Netflix. Now, the user engagement or the data that we gather can only happen if we keep the user on the listing. The longer we keep them on the listing, the more data we get. What we are seeing from customers, and now I'm going to dive a little bit into more use cases of what our customers are seeing, but the longer we keep them on the listing, the more data we get. We are seeing up to 20 minutes engagement given the type of tool we give out. So if people are visualizing the house or changing the kitchen, interiors, etc., we keep them longer on the website, allowing us to understand better. Our solutions are mainly API-driven, so we have a very comprehensive API documentation with multiples of models, etc., that are then given to the portals. The portals plug that in, and that then creates that tool on top of the listing, allowing for the rest of it. We have agents and brokerages as well using our solutions. I named Remax before. These solutions that we offer to them are mainly for the ad-edit process, so in the beginning of the journey, where the customer is then feeding the imagery in. So I'm going to give you a few examples of how our customers are using this. So here is an example of a CRM that works exclusively for Remax International, and then another brand called Griftech that is doing exactly the same thing, but for Keller Williams and EXP. This is outside of North America. And what they are doing is that the moment the agent is feeding in the listing, our tool is prompting a little screen, detecting that there's something to be done with that photo, suggesting what could be done, allowing the agent to say, okay, I want this photo live with a decluttering or with a new kitchen or something better. And then that journey goes on. And it feeds back into the CRM, and then it goes into the listing. Now, the other part, and I think this is more the part that you guys are interested in, is the portal part. So we have, with ImmoScout 24 in the German-speaking market, we have now launched full production with them. And the way they do it is quite interesting. And we call it the V1 of our solutions, is that we take every single photo that is uploaded into ImmoScout today, they send that to us. We take every image, we read the image, so we check if it's usable, we reject what is not usable, keep what is usable, generate the photos, and we send it back to them. Today, they are taking 4 styles to allow people then to view them instantly as they come on the photo gallery. So this is what we call the V1. They're capturing the user behaviors. They're playing with what people are looking at and where they're spending time, allowing them then to feed data back and understand better what's happening. Current stats with that type of model. So we're handling 800 requests a minute, 12 million images plus analyzed a month, and 4 million images being generated. So this is AI generation. I think today we are in the top tier customers of AWS, to give you an idea. The product in action. So this is what ImmoScout is showing. What I was saying earlier, the moment we send back the image, ImmoScout allows you to change in different styles, so there's different views of the property, but it's all for the user, right? We say this is V1 because it's static, it's pre-generated for the user. Our preference is naturally to allow for the user himself to say, okay, well, I would like to do something specific in the photo, so just to turn that experience more towards the user. And then other solutions that we have out there that we're rolling out with ImmoScout and other clients, both in Europe and the US. So there's interactive widgets. So we offer the experience of ImmoScout, but on a widget sitting on top of the listing. Computer vision. So computer vision, image tagging, etc., is a solution that we have integrated in the flow of ImmoScout because we read the imagery before we understand it, we then generate, and at the end we run a QC on CV model, computer vision models, to understand if the output is of quality or not. Are there 6 beds in this bedroom and it doesn't make any sense, we would reject that, or our models would reject that and show only what's relevant. Now, the computer vision is actually quite interesting because we have more and more customers going towards our solutions using both, so they're using the generative, but since we are generating all the image tagging and understanding the imagery, it becomes an exhaust data, so we're sending that back to the listing site, to the portal, so that they can use and enhance their data as well. Conversational search, we're coming out with a co-pilot where we take all these visuals and people can start to interact with it. Allowing people also to turn around, take a photo of their own interior. We segment their own couch or their own furniture, render that in 3D in a few seconds, and re-inject that into the photo so that people can visualize how their own furniture would then look in the listing that they're looking at. Now, the next generation of PropTexx, which is a reality today because we just partnered with a company called IKEA Global, where we are now going to allow or inject furniture out of IKEA into these photos, allowing people to see from a catalog of IKEA how that would look like in that particular property. Now, this is quite interesting, and this was our objective since the beginning, was to try to marry up the retail and real estate, which is always a difficult part. But by doing this now, so we're launching with IKEA in the first market. So by doing this, we're essentially offsetting or allowing the distribution channels, which is the marketplace, to benefit from revenue coming from retail, injecting that into the market. So here I'm talking about additional revenue for marketplaces or for listing sites from the retail part. We're actually actively looking for markets where IKEA is present in order to roll this out throughout the year. So if you are in a market where you know of IKEA stores around you, please come and see us. We'd be interested to talk. The way it works is mainly injecting the furniture in, but then on top of it, allowing the hover, click on an item, see the details, how much would this cost, and eventually have that item being either ordered or send you over to IKEA. From portals, apparently they would like to keep that in the gallery, and from the gallery there's exploration and people move on, but they don't leave the website, which is fine for IKEA. So partnering with retailers, you gain more real estate or real-time insights into buyer preferences. You're starting to understand way better what people are looking for. Additional revenue streams for portals. So if anybody here is looking for additional ways to generate revenue, I think this is a perfect opportunity to start that. Additional lead generation for retail, that has value, monetary value, we all know that. Some stats, what we are seeing over the past year or year and a half now. Today our solutions, they integrate within 24 hours. The interface is on the portal, but we always say it's a one line of code and we're live. The widget provides real-time personalization within seconds. We deliver up to 99%, or usually 99% computer vision accuracy. So the data we're sending back to the portal is good. It works. We boost engagement by 2.5 times. Now, this is coming from the portal, so what they are feeding us back is that when they run stats or surveys, they're feeding these metrics back to us. We operate in different languages. We can today process around 1,000 images a minute, 1,000 images a minute. It's a fully scalable solution. It's just a matter of GPUs. We deliver this in an API format. So when we look at each image processed, and the business model for us is actually quite simple. It's SaaS-based, but a fraction of a cent per photo that you actually generate on the site. So very little cost, which can then even be offset by the retail part. I wanted to show you a little video about, 1-minute video about how it works.
In today's fast-paced market, every click, every interaction counts. Imagine turning each of those moments into rich, actionable data. PropTexx does just that, transforming your listings into more than just a showcase, into an experience that fuels engagement. It allows potential buyers to fully visualize their future home, making real-time changes and getting instant cost estimates. This tool lets them render before and after views of any space, boosting confidence in their decisions. And for you, every interaction delivers valuable insights. You get access to in-depth buyer preferences, helping you tailor your approach to generate better leads. PropTexx is designed to help you close deals faster, armed with the data and insights that matter most. Integrate PropTexx into your listings and watch as your engagement and lead quality grow. In a competitive market, staying ahead means offering more than just a listing. It means delivering an experience.
Voila. I think that's it.
Stefan, thank you. Okay, got some questions. Thank you. Can you explain a bit more about how you can help portals create more conversational and contextual-free search with the data you extract from the images? How does
Yes.
Copilot work?
Sure. So by integrating PropTexx into the portal, one, we're reading all of the imagery. The single source of truth is the imagery. It's anything visual. It helps enrich your database, and the database then becomes the source of your search. So the more data you have, the more accurate, and then you can start playing with outside models that help enhance the experience on the LLM, etc. But this is essentially the database.
Okay, how long do you think it'll be before things like IKEA shopping links become ubiquitous on real estate portal listings?
It's happening now. We're actually implementing this now. So IKEA coming into the portal, actually IKEA is coming into the imagery. Every single image will be powered with IKEA furniture, where people then can either be inside the portal, can start to shop inside the portal, or lead to a more lead gen.
Okay. Matterport or PropTexx, what do you think generates the most engagement for my listings?
It's
An honest answer.
Well,
or do they do different things?
It's complementary. So it complements each other. So Matterport has, 4 or 5% of listings overall are Matterport powered or 3D engagement powered. We work on every single image. So the 95% remaining are probably sitting with PropTexx. So I think it complements.
Right. So I guess the answer, what I think you're saying is that the two work together rather than actually a competitive in this scenario and what you're trying to achieve here. Do you get information about leads and even complete transactions from your customers so we can better know the difference between someone browsing and someone ready to buy?
Yeah. Well, many of the portals do not even know or have this information, but we get a lot of information from our customers because we get embedded into their AI strategy and their AI teams. So yes, we see data, we understand what's happening. And one thing is for sure is that our current customers are expanding their offer with us, so it is working.
Okay. And it seems like there are other companies doing similar things to PropTexx. Can you talk about your specific USP?
Yeah, there are companies popping up here and there doing virtual staging. I think that is just one component.
Help me understand, because I don't understand. What's the difference between virtual staging and what you do? Where does one end and the other one start?
So the virtual staging component of what we do is switching furniture in a photo or staging or putting furniture inside it. What we do is a holistic approach for portals, driving volume. So we have computer vision models on both ends of the process, understanding in the beginning what's happening, rejecting what can and cannot be done, and then taking care of the hallucination at the end. So we have this holistic approach, but in volume, meaning we take it away from the agent and we put it in front, allowing users to come in and start to engage. That is the main difference.
Okay. And last question, do you get information about, no, we've done that one. And then, does your solution have an impact on leads, KPIs, not just on engagement?
Does your solution have an impact on leads, KPIs? What would that?
Okay, on volume of leads generated for a portal, for example, not just time on site. So I think what the question is one thing is to have time on a listing. What's the dwell time? How long they're engaging?
Right.
The second is, are you generating more leads out the other end for the portal?
We're generating better leads on the other end. Right. More qualified. We're giving data back. So the portal is giving better data back to the agent so that the agent can reach out knowing exactly what, or knowing more about the client, what are they looking for. They can engage in a conversation saying, okay, well, you're looking at a kitchen. How about we talk a little bit about that? etc., etc. So it's quality.
Okay. Stefan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Excellent stuff. Thank you.